Well, there's a scene. Sam Bacco and Wally Lewis with Tony Curry going over to thank a section of the 33,000 crowd who've not only supported Wally Lewis and Queensland tonight, Andrew, but supported them since 1980.
Yes, I think that's obviously been a very important part for the Queensland Rugby League side, and that's evidenced by the fact after every game they go and applaud the crowd.
Let's go once again to Rod Tiley.
Okay, we've got Chris Johns down here on the sideline. He looks a bit like a chameleon at the moment. He's just swapped shorts with his Bronco teammate in Tony Curry. Chris, really, you had a great series for New South Wales.
Yeah, mate, I just wish we could have got away with, like we started off well tonight, but Queensland was just too hot on the night and really got away with the game. I just wish it would have been a bit closer.
Yes, in that first 40 minutes, you looked as though you had the answers to the Maroon lineup.
Yeah, we did. Then a couple of bad mistakes, and you know, just can't afford to give mistakes away to this side. They turn them into 4 points. Chris, you played in the centres tonight, and the other two games you've been on the wing for New South Wales. Which of the games did you enjoy the best positionally? Well, probably I enjoyed the last time. I'd rather play in the centres, but I enjoyed the second game because we were a lot closer and like we nearly should have won that game. Okay, well, obviously you'd be hoping for a spot on the tour to New Zealand. I reckon you'd have to go real close. Oh, mate, I can just hope. You know, that's all I can do. Okay, Chris Johns, great series. Well done. We're proud of you.
Well, there's a big ask.
That is an effort.
Hey?
Yeah. Artie Beeson's favourite instrument, the dinner bell, and they're holding every ounce. Good. It takes about half a dozen of them. Lucky there's 13 in the team.
Well, lucky they had Sam Bacco and Martin Bella there and Miles. Well, Arthur Beetson, he's folklore, isn't he, in Queensland football? Starting right back in 1980 when this...
So is that man with a cap, Dickie Turner.
That's the man, Tosser Turner. They're not my players, they're my family. You know, Andrew, they do play as a family. They lay down their life for their fellow players.
Let's recall something about tonight's match and just show you how Queensland played the game. Obviously, the job was done up front by those tough men. They scored 7 tries, one by Kerrod Walters, who set up 2 of the first 3. The other 6 by 3/4. 3 by the centres. Shearer got a couple, Tony Curry got 1, and the other 2 by the wingers, Hancock and McIndoe. Isn't that the way football's supposed to be played?
Well, it's the same old story. The forwards take the ball forward and the backs do the rest, don't they? Let's go once again to Rod.
Okay, I've got the Twins, or this is the second half of the Twins anyway. Man of the match was Kerrod. Here's Kevin from the Canberra Raiders. Mate, welcome to State of Origin football. Mum and Dad in the crowd tonight.
Yeah, thanks very much, mate. Yeah, they'll be up there for sure. They wouldn't miss this for the world, I don't think.
Okay, well done, and obviously enjoyed it.
Yeah, thanks very much. Congratulations to Kerry too. He had a really good game, I thought, and that's coming from your heart. Well done, Kerry. Good job.
Well, Walters always plays well, doesn't he? So the presentation of the Winfield Shield coming up shortly as players exchange words and congratulations with officials and their own teammates.
And Michael Hagan, let's not forget him.
Magnificent night again for his Queensland side. There's no doubt about it. They are the champion State of Origin side. There's no doubt about that. What do you say about that, Lang Park? Absolutely magnificent performance. Whitewashing the Blues. 3 blot twice in a row. And that was 8 wins on the trot for the Queensland side. But the Blues tonight, I thought, put up a great performance. And of course tonight, both packs of players will go into the draw to see who wears the green and gold when we take on the Kiwis coming up shortly. Well, the man of the match, a difficult one to pick tonight. In some eyes it might be a certainty, but there were so many players that gave so much. Mr. Ken Arthurson, the chairman of the Australian Rugby League, the president of the New South Wales Rugby League, I'd like to call on you now to perhaps do the honours of man of the match, or perhaps introduce the Winfield people to us. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Australian Rugby League, it's my very great pleasure to congratulate Queensland on a sensational State of Origin win during season 1989. I think it's only fair to say that this is probably the greatest Queensland side that I've ever seen in my long association with the game. I'd like to say also, ladies and gentlemen, that the standard of play produced by Queensland is a great credit to their coach Arthur Beetson, their captain Wally Lewis, and in fact everybody associated with the side. To New South Wales, I'd like to say thank you. Nobody can be accuse New South Wales of not doing their best, and after all, that's all you can ask of anybody. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure that all New South Welshmen would agree that the best side won on the evening.
We'll leave Ken Arthurson there and be back in a moment. So back we are for the finale for the series and for the decade. Wally Lewis just making his speech.
Queensland players extend their warmest thanks. They put up a great game. It really tested us to the limit in the first half, and it was just my thanks to my own guys, the way they came back marvellously well in the second half to wrap up the series. To Arthur Beetson, our coach, and all of our team management, both managers, our trainers, doctors, everybody, extreme thanks, because it really is a family type situation, and we very much do enjoy going into camp. The big thanks from the Queensland guys goes to the public of the rugby league here, who've turned out again and packed Lang Park. It would have been easy to stay home and watch it on TV live, but we feel very good about everybody coming out, paying the money to watch us play football here again. We hope you've got your money's worth, and thanks from the bottom of our hearts.
We'll leave Wally there, take a break, and be back with more.
Well, there it is. Queensland winning the final State of Origin match 36-16. Wally Lewis accepting the Winfield State of Origin Shield from Neil Abercrombie, and well done to the Queenslanders. And to take us out tonight, our final State of Origin, a tribute to a decade of State of Origin football. Thanks for joining us.
Lewis, a little chip. Whoa, it bounces off the upright, and they're in. Dowling has gone in, and it's off a Lewis kick, and that's got to be luck. There's a big one here. Oh, they've got it, and
The 1989 State of Origin telecast was proudly sponsored by Medway Bank and Castlemaine Perkins, brewers of 4X.